I will be your master.
Oh,
This
no.
is all that remains of your family. A rare variant quirk manifested in you. A mutation no one's seen before.
No.
And you murdered your loved ones simply by putting your hands on them.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's React. I'm Kenny and this is my beautiful wife Montana, and this is Rue. You can't really see her, but...
And today we're going to be reacting to Season 5, Episode 20 of My Hero Academia. My Villain Academia.
Ooh.
Nice.
What could this be about?
I kind of feel like we're going to see what the bad guys were like when they were in school.
We'll have to see what it's about, but if you're excited for this episode of My Hero Academia, make sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe down below for episodes coming every Friday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes right now, they're all posted to Patreon in their extended full-length forms, along with episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen, Solo Leveling, Demon Slayer, and Invincible. Alright, are we excited for Season 5, Episode 20 of My Hero Academia?
Absolutely.
Alright, let's get it.
Let's go.
Listen up, Dunderheads! This video was brought to you by the incredible members of the Let's React Patreon. If you want access to a ton of exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Have a good day, Twinkle Toes!
Excellent, Tomura Shigaraki. You're coming along nicely. Better than I ever imagined.
Tomura Shigaraki. We've been weakened considerably ever since we lost All for One. To do what must be done, we'll have to advance to the next stage. He left formidable power behind for us. You only have to say the word, and I will retrieve that power for you.
But he left behind considerable power for him. He just has to go get it. 2 months ago on a certain day in October.
I searched so long. Now I've found you at last. So are you really the leader who will succeed All for One?
Whoa, whoa, it's alright, everything will be alright. Whoa, whoa, it's alright, everybody now we're here.
Gotta give it a listen. Oh, My Villain Academia.
Ah, very cool.
Kurogiri, is this the formidable power left by All for One? I'm not impressed.
Why would you do this, All for One? I can't believe it! Tell me why, Master! He's too weak to deserve this!
You seem to have run into some trouble, Shigaraki.
Doctor,
I trust that you've been well.
ask me again in a minute. Might be game over then.
I can't accept this! I don't want to question you, Master, but this is wrong!
I take it you've met Gigantomachia. He's All for One's biggest fan. This giant
Wow.
even used to work as his bodyguard. He's got incredible stamina and resilience, and with that body he can handle multiple quirks without having to undergo any modification. A few years after the Master took you in, and after All Might weakened him, All for One knew defeat was inevitable. So he hid Gigantomachia from view. He thought many steps ahead and planned meticulously. He did this so that no matter what might become of him, he would be certain that his hopes and dreams would live on.
Call me crazy, this doesn't seem like a very nice gift. Or is it just me?
You've got quite a discerning eye, Dabi. Gigantomachia is loyal. That's what led him down the path of despair you see now. It pains him that Shigaraki doesn't quite measure up to All for One.
So you're saying we gotta make this big baby like us?
Well, that didn't work at all!
Not really doing anything here.
Assessment. Oh.
Machia.
Oh.
That's a recording of All for One's voice. I knew it would calm the big guy down.
Oh, weird.
He's more trouble than he's worth.
You sure? He could be quite handy to have on your side in the future. All this time with Kurogiri's made you simple. Smarten up, boy.
Now, Doctor, there's no need to be harsh.
Let me try something else. 1 second.
What is he up to?
Mad scientist types make no...
So the doctor is who he's talking
Really,
to.
Jean? Gross. How immature can you...
Ew.
What the heck? This is the same quirk All For One used at Camino. How? Why? Things just keep getting weirder.
What
Now
is
I've
that?
got your attention,
You remember?
Let's have a little chat.
All For One used that same quirk to teleport all of them out of the room when All Might was about to save Bakugo at the beginning of season 3.
Okay, but someone was able to use it even though...
Without All For One.
Okay.
Where are we?
What is all this? No. They don't look like ones I've seen before.
Dobby, I'm impressed you can tell the difference. I knew you had a keen pair of eyes. These little ones are different. Nothing like mid or low-level Nomu. These are high-end, my finest works, super Nomu. Dare I call them masterpieces?
Good timing. I've been looking
Wow.
for you.
Okay.
So this is
Something I want you to
where
These
the
are
Nomu are
the...
kept.
I
Yeah.
notice you've let your hair grow out. It suits you. Your father and the others, are they doing well?
Sure.
I prefer my location remain a secret, which is why I summoned you all here by transmission. Besides Shigaraki, your faces are all new to me. Much like Gigantomachia, I'm a close aide of All For One. I'm Daramo Ujiko. I came up with that name myself. You like it? Now then, to business. I brought you here today because of an agreement I made out of my deference to our former boss.
Wait, can you
My
pause
life,
it?
my
So did All For One give him those black goop transferring powers? Because they said it was something that All For One had, and now this guy is controlling it, correct?
Yes, this guy's controlling it.
His
He's
thing specifically is the Nomus and improving the Nomus
like all the Nomus we've seen are
are from him. Yeah. And he's working for All For One.
yes.
Oh boy.
Besides Shigaraki, your faces are all new to me. Much like Gigantomachia, I'm a close aide of All For One. I'm Daramo Ujiko. I came
Uchigo.
up with that name myself. You like it? Now then, to business. I brought you here today because of an agreement I made out of my deference to our former boss. My life, my tech, my expertise, and of course my little ones here are dedicated to the great All For One. Up until now, you've been getting by on my scraps, my leftovers. It's not that I dislike you. I just have to be cautious. I need to make quite sure that you're worthy of receiving the fruits of my labor. Because so far I'm unimpressed. A 20-year-old reject hanging around with the dregs of society? What can you show me to change my mind, Tomura Shigaraki? Stop it, Tenko!
Honestly, I don't remember much about my life before I met you and Master.
Yes, I'm already well aware of that.
And yet, when I put these on my body, there's an uncontrollable rage that spills over. Ever since that day, I've been thinking about what happened.
No one came. Not a single soul stopped to help you, did they? That must have hurt. Tenko Shimura, I know you were afraid and in intense pain. You ran and ran, looking for someone to help. No child should have to endure that. People thought, a hero will come. Sooner or later, a hero will help him as they pass by, pretending not to see you. Who turned the world so upside down that a child must suffer as you have? But not anymore. For I am here.
I have no memory of my life before my master held me that day. I was just an
Wow.
empty shell, utterly hollow.
Something happened.
I apologize for the cramped quarters, but as of today, this is your room, and from now on, I will be your master.
Master, what are you going to teach me about?
Doctor,
Yes, sir.
Oh
this
no.
is all that remains of your family. A rare variant quirk manifested in you. a mutation no one's seen before. And you murdered your loved ones simply by putting your hands on them.
Those are all his family's hands?
Yep, you hear what he just said?
Work manifested in you, a mutation no one's seen before. And you murdered your loved ones simply by putting your hands on them.
Oh god, okay, so that's why he has the glove. No, the dog? No.
It all came rushing back to me in fragments. With a frustration so intense I felt sick to my stomach.
Will we modify him?
No. Even if your mind has forgotten, your body remembers, and the feelings remain locked in your heart. You ask what I would teach you. As your master, I will help you give purpose to that frustration.
When I put them
God.
on, it's so strange. Though it still makes me feel sick to my stomach. Wearing them washes calmness over me. Don't you think that's bizarre? My mind's empty beyond those flashes and fragments, and yet there's a heaviness in my heart, like a lump of lead, never moving, fueling the rage that propels me, but never brings relief. Even if we bring down Hero Society, even if I rule the ruins from the shadows, that lead will be with me all my life. That's why I despise all in existence. All that lives and breathes presses on the weight in my soul. So then, why shouldn't I destroy it? Why must I suffer it? When this world falls, we'll see the glorious new horizon that awaits. So why not lend me a hand? I'll show you the halls of heaven and the depths of hell.
You sound like a kid playing a bad guy. I'm amazed you got through it with a straight face. Why not? I'll help you achieve your vision, but only if you can back up that speech with action. A villain's philosophy is worthless if he can't bring his dreams to life.
Tomura, those ideas of yours seem a little bit deranged if you ask me. Like,
That's
do you even
rich
wanna
coming
destroy
from you.
everything I love?
There's always room for my comrades' wishes. Live how you want to.
All right!
You passed the test with flying colors. You're appalled.
So, before we continue, I wanted to ask you, what do you make of that
Oh my god, okay.
revelation?
There's so much. Oh my god, so many things. Okay, so the first memory he has is being told that he killed his whole family and is then presented with all of their hands. And then they said that he was the one who killed them just by touching them.
Yeah, that's his quirk, is the...
Yeah, I mean, it explains a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, is his
Good
psychological,
Lord.
mental state. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been unstable, but in a very, fragile way. And so knowing that, his first memory, the thing that he bases everything else off of was this, horrendous realization.
You passed the test with flying colors. You're appalling.
Hold on. You're testing me?
I planned to work with you from the start, but I had to see some growth. I can't bestow these powers to just anyone, you know. That said, I still can't hand them over yet. You're all far too weak.
Something is being bestowed.
You can do to prove to me that you're ready. That big guy may be dense, but he's valuable to us both. Though, unlike me, he hasn't accepted you as his own. Do you catch my drift? If you can make Gigantomachia submit to you, then everything I have will be yours to use as you see fit. If you want what I offer, you'll have to seize it for yourself.
Fine. But was that self-indulgent tutorial necessary?
Just so you know, I'm not helping.
Oh, don't be a brat just because your flames didn't work on him.
That's not it, you maniac. I have a good potential ally in mind. I'm gonna focus my energies there. Do you object?
No. I look forward to meeting them.
In that case, Dobby, I'd
That was
very
about
much
Hawk.
appreciate your
Okay,
help
cool.
testing out a high-end Nomu. I have just the one. It will pair elegantly with your aesthetic. A perfect match.
Nothing elegant about that creature.
Send us back now so we can get started. I feel like I could take on the world.
From this point forward, contact me using this device exclusively. Time to work, Johnny. Back to Gigantomachia these little soldiers go.
Oh.
Oh, Master.
Weird.
So is that creature
Weird.
doing it?
Okay. Okay. Oh, he's taking the powers and storing them
Ready to submit to your future
until he
king?
can come back and get them later, or give them to people.
You know how he gives quirks to Nomu, presumably?
Yes.
He gave that quirk to that Nomu.
Okay.
So he can kind of just create Nomu devices. Like,
Wow.
my villain academia.
They're really committing. Oh.
He's only open when he's in the air.
Looks like the future king is in trouble.
Yeah, well, that's nothing new. Dr. Ujiko promised that he'd give us his full support, but only under one massive condition, that we rein in Gigantomachia. And in the month and a half since then, Shigaraki has come no closer to proving his strength to the giant and winning him over.
Month and a half.
Wow.
The big guy wages a full-out assault for 48 hours and 44 minutes straight, only taking breaks to sleep. That brief respite lasts for about 3 hours, then he starts the whole cycle over again.
Oh, God.
His body gets bigger during combat, and somehow,
Of course it does.
always able to find Shigaraki no matter where he hides.
How is this
for a
guy
month
so
and a
good?
half Now Shigaraki's barely slept a wink. But even as he is pushed to the brink of death, Shigaraki's still smiling. As far as the rest of us go, he doesn't seem to notice when we withdraw from the action. It's like he's blind to everything except his primary target, Shigaraki. We rest in shifts, keeping ourselves fresh so we can devote our energy to helping our leader conquer the giant. Meanwhile, the doctor is giving us bare-bones financial support. Toga decided to spend what little money she got on a new duffel coat.
Toasty more.
Worth it.
I don't move as quickly if I get too cold.
Uh-huh.
Plus, A-line cuts look super cute on me.
You only joined the league because you were obsessed with Stain. His influence has all but disappeared at this point, though. So why are you still here?
I love Mr. Staney, and I love Izuku, and I love Ochako too. It's so amazing that I
What?
can see all these wonderful people.
Remember she loved Deku and Uraraka?
I remember that she loved Deku. I didn't remember that she loved Uraraka.
Yep.
What? Okay.
She turned into her? She took her blood and turned into her and tried to get to Deku at one point.
Okay, my understanding of that was like Deku likes Uraraka. If I want to get to Deku, I'm going to imitate Uraraka. Not, I'm going to imitate Uraraka because I have a thing for her.
Not have a thing so much as just love them.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a
They
little...
don't know each
All
other.
these wonderful people.
You're a real free spirit.
That's a word for it.
The monster's asleep. As massive as he is, you'd think he'd stop to eat more.
Hey, Tomura, you still alive over there?
Yeah, the big dumb bastard's slowing
Oh yeah,
down
he
a
looks
lot.
great.
I'm way closer now than when this whole saga started. I'll bring that overgrown gorilla to his knees, sooner or later.
That look in his eyes. It's like a kid chasing after a dream.
Oh,
It's Giran. Wonder where he's been.
That's his
You've
ringtone.
gotten nothing but radio silence. Ask him if we have damage insurance.
That guy cares about me more than anyone ever has. He got me into the league, you know. A real mensch, that one. Why the hell haven't you been answering Mr. Compress's calls? You're the absolute worst, man.
Oops, that would be our fault. Sorry. Don't be mad at him. Don't tell me. You're Jean Bubakawara, the villain noticed twice, right?
A voice changer.
Who are you? Where's Giran?
Never mind that. Turn on the news if you can.
Our top story. Following yesterday's events, another finger has been
A
found.
finger?
Earlier, a severed finger was found near the home of the Shie Hasaikai boss. Then at Hosu City Terminal, on the Metropolitan Expressway, and at Ground Zero in Camino Ward, all within the last 3 days. And now, a pinky finger turns up in central Fukuoka at the site of Endeavor's...
All places where we've been active lately. That's no accident.
Who the hell are you, huh?
I'm the Grand Commander of the Meta Liberation Army. The name's Redestro.
Redestro. Interesting.
Has-beens trying to make a comeback. Hear you've been selling lots of books lately. You want to get in on the trend while
That
the
red
getting's
book?
good?
Oh, okay.
We're the ones who started the trend.
Congratulations! What do you want with Kieran? You better not hurt him anymore, you're toast!
I've got your broker right here. And he's still alive, of course. Our objective is to liberate all metahumans. To demolish the existing framework and rebuild a world where people can be themselves. Where they can use their abilities to their fullest capacity.
Interesting. I don't see any reason why we should oppose that.
Is he trying to exploit our name like the Yakuza?
Give us the broker and we'll get back to you soon. We're busy now. I'll hear about your little revolution club once our task here's complete.
While you're taking a breather, why not just hear me out? I'm not gonna release my hostage now, because you're not calling the shots. And your friend has told me what a tight-knit group you are. Your broker is an admirable man, takes great pride in his work. I imagine he's determined to remain hidden in the shadows, ever careful to avoid the prying eyes of heroes and police.
Sadly, he never thought someone might be lurking in those same shadows, waiting to pounce.
Still, I commend him. He had the foresight to delete his client list before we struck. Not only that, but he didn't so much as wince when we started taking his fingers, nor did he give you up. But as for that client list, we were able to recover it. I must praise his resistance, futile though it was. We Liberation Warriors have worked hard, preparing for years to enact the coming events. We've endured for generations, biding our time, spreading our roots far and wide. Revolution Club? I don't like jokes made in poor taste. I have 116,516 hidden warriors. And we are lying in wait, ever ready to take action.
This guy must be bluffing.
Neat, huh? How's the weather there deep in those mountains?
Too late, I'm afraid. We're watching you right now, thanks to our satellite.
Go where you will, but we'll always find you. We're always watching the League of Villains. Endeavor, Hawks, Edgeshot, Mirko, and Crust. One quick call and they'll drop everything and have you surrounded.
I do appreciate the advanced warning. Now, what do you want from us?
I insist the leader of this revolution bear the name Destro. Your organization has become too well known. Therefore, we shall crush you, thus signaling the revival of the Liberation Army. The fingers prove our resolve. Let's not draw this little talk out with pointless bargaining. The war's begun to liberate metahumans from all tyranny. Next, you will make your way to Deka City in Aichi within the hour. That's your only hope of freeing your friend Giran. Then you must make your choice. Will you stand against us and be destroyed, or do nothing and be captured by the heroes? You must decide, Shigaraki.
He wants us in Aichi within the hour? And he's tracking our every move from space? If that's all true, it feels like checkmate.
Do we even have to discuss this? No way! That guy described Giran to a T. This Redestro guy's got him for sure! Giran saved me, gave me somewhere to belong. So we have to go save him, like right now!
Giran might already be dead, though. Everything that guy said could be a lie. All that we have is his word.
But even if there's a slim chance Giran's alive, we have to help him!
You want us to barrel in there without a plan? Calm yourself. You've gotten way too attached to people lately. It's become a bad habit.
It's because I'm an outcast!
I think I've got an idea. Doctor, did you catch all that?
Yes, I've been tuned into villain radio, and I'm shocked that the Metal Liberation Army's back. The waves you've been making in the underworld have dredged up some real darkness.
How long do we have until the big baby wakes up?
If left undisturbed, he should wake up in 2 hours and 35 minutes, give or take.
Perfect. Where's Tommy?
At the moment, just outside the border between Mie and Shiga.
That's a great place to be. Okay, we'll need a transport. Let's go.
You're taking the bait? What if they really have 110,000 people? We'll be dead!
The giant's not invincible. After a month and a half of fighting him, it's clear to me. But he does have an excess of HP. And no matter where I am, he'll sniff me out and hunt me down. Ugh. We're going to send Gigantomachia right into the fray and let him face all those fighters. Battling those revolutionaries will wear that meathead down.
And then they'll swoop in at the end.
What will you do if it turns out that Redestro is bluffing?
Then he'll die, simple as that.
We're really doing this?
That's what I said.
Oh, I'm covered. Now I'll recover.
And they won't even know what hit him.
So,
wow.
What do you make of that whole sequence?
Holy shit. Okay. Wow.
The Liberation Army is trying to build a wonderful world. I love you so much it hurts. But I believe my life right now is normal.
That is where we're left for episode 1 of My Villain Academia and episode 20 of season 5 of My Hero Academia. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe down below if you're excited for more episodes coming every Friday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes right now, they're all posted to Patreon in their extended full-length forms, along with episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen, Solo Leveling, Demon Slayer, Invincible, so make sure to check those out. We have a lot to discuss, but before we do that, where are we headed?
All right, let's review.
Thank you for watching. For now, we're going to go to questions given to us by our incredible Patreon members. If you want to ask us questions we answer after every episode of any show we watch, join the link in the description below and start asking. For now, let's go to question 1. All right, question 1. HBomb24 asks, we finally catch up with Shigaraki and the rest of the League of Villains this episode and see that despite All For One placing his protege in a leadership position, his direct subordinate, the Doctor, doesn't immediately accept Shigaraki as the de facto leader and demands the young man prove his merit by bringing Gigantomachia under his rule as well. Harkening back to the training Deku did to receive All Might's power in hopes of following his path, how do you feel about Shigaraki's equal development as a villain opposed to Deku as a hero demonstrated throughout the series?
That is such an interesting prompt. Very cool question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a thing that made a big difference is Deku 100% recognized All Might as the expert and the leader 100% and just kind of took on like a student learning role.
You don't think that Shigaraki did that with the All For One?
I don't think as much because All For One was so, I don't want to say weak, but just kind of incapacitated in that moment.
In what moment?
Like in the earlier, like everything we saw earlier where he was like on the
life support thing.
I feel like Shigaraki's opinion of All For One was less like exclusively student compared to All Might and Deku, because Shigaraki had to make some decisions on like for the organization on the fly because All For One wasn't able to.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because All For One way back then, like even said in All Might's face during the fight, like your protege like clings to you and like needs your help, whereas mine has flown the nest. Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember that at all. Very cool. Very cool. Okay.
I think flown the nest is literally what he says.
Flown the nest.
He's like, mine can think for himself, do his own thing, come up with his own plans, and Deku relies on you to do everything.
Exactly.
You coddle him and now you're gonna be gone. What's gonna be left of him?
How do you do that?
All For One's pretty, he's got, say what you will about All For One, he is a planner. He has plans on his plans on his plans.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally hit Gigantomachia.
No, literally. Yeah, it's interesting because it's like more solitary for Shigaraki in the sense that like All For One is kind of stuck in one place. And because he's in charge of like a whole organization, that's like quite a bit of power to have for someone who's like still an underling, whereas that's just like absolutely not Deku's situation. So I think they've probably grown like about the same amount. It's just Deku has grown towards All Might and Shigaraki has grown on his own.
Yeah.
Like in a different direction.
It's a very interesting parallel there, and
Yeah.
we'll see if his growth has worked so that he can take down Gigantomachia and also take on the Meta Liberation Army. But let's go to our second question. All right, question 2. Day asks, what do you think about the psychological effects putting the hands on Shigaraki has on him? Why does it bring him comfort even though it was a negative act when he was a kid, and it also brings him anger?
Dude, that was insane.
Yeah, and it's funny because you mentioned back in season 2, you were like, it looks like these hands are like holding him in positions like of somebody holding him up or like somebody being comfort.
Like supported, but yeah, very, very weird. Very weird. I mean, it kind of makes sense in the beginning from like a super fucked up perspective of like not being able to control my power was what killed my family. So I'm gonna like carry the reminder that I did that physically close to me, like on me, until I can control my power as like a method of motivation.
But is that what he's doing?
But then I think, I don't know.
Because he did say, makes me want to destroy everything.
Right. So the thing is, in the beginning, I think it maybe could have started there and then kind of morphed into, this is literally all I have left of my family. And the reason that that's all he has left of his family is his quirk, but like specifically generally just like quirks in general. But then maybe like as he got older, it kind of morphed into like, this is literally the only thing I have left of my family. And, you know, when you're an adult looking back on something that you did as a kid and like took responsibility for, like if you're like a kid and you like, I don't know, crash a car, yeah, it's your fault because you did it, but it's also on the adult who was assigned to watch you and make sure you didn't do something fucking stupid. So when you're a kid, you think it's your fault, but when you're an adult, you look back on it and go like, okay, yeah, that wasn't great, but it was not fully my responsibility. I was a child.
You think that's what he's thinking?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of convoluted right now, but I just feel like it's a situation where like he's got to have so much resentment over just the way like the quirk universe works, but then also the way that that situation was handled and
being left alone, nobody helped them.
Exactly. Like to be left alone with nothing but the dismembered appendages of your family that you...
Well, separate. He was left alone in the street and then All For One found him and then All For One gave him the hands.
Yeah.
But remember, All For One said, everybody passed by you thinking a hero would come to you, but nobody did. But I am here. Yeah, so I guess we still have a lot more to unpack on that one, but definitely something to keep thinking about. Mm-hmm. Now let's go to our final question, and more of just a statement that I thought you'd find interesting.
I love interesting statements.
Markubal Jaden asks, this was never mentioned in the show or manga, but in an outside interview, the author of My Hero revealed that All For One's doctor that you see in this episode is the exact doctor that told Deku and his mom that he was quirkless. You can even go back to season 1, episode 1 and see it. So I want to know if you believe that was a coincidence or do you think there's more to that little piece of trivia? And we can both answer this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was funny because I never noticed this until we rewatched it. And then we got to that episode. We were at episode 1 and that happened. I was like there's a point in the edit where I look at the camera and I'm like,
that's him.
What?
That's the guy.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
But what do you make of that? I have a theory.
I think it's just a coincidence because in order for it to be connected, the doctor would have to have known that Deku was going to inherit All Might's powers, which unless he has like fortune telling abilities, that's just not possible.
So you think it's just a coincidence? To be clear, I have no evidence that it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think of if there's any way for it to not be a coincidence and the doctor didn't know that Deku was going to inherit.
I have
All
something
For
that
One.
would satisfy that.
Or One For All.
So, Deku's dad has a fire-breathing quirk. We never meet Deku's dad.
Right.
It's just said.
Yeah.
He's such a deadbeat. But like, just never mentioned, never calls, never even enters Deku's brain, like ever in the show.
Damn, good for him.
But he had a fire-breathing quirk, and I wonder if this doctor took away Deku's quirk. I wonder if Deku had a quirk. He went to the doctor to get checked, and this doctor said,
"Oh,
I'm taking your quirk."
Interesting.
What if he just took it for just storing it or putting it into Nomu? Like,
okay, so it wasn't specific to Deku getting All Might's power, but it was just this doctor is just doing fucked shit with people's quirks without them knowing. Okay.
Because Deku's quirkless.
I completely buy that.
I don't know. I feel like there's nothing to suggest otherwise, and he has so many Nomu. I feel like one of them's got to have fire breathing.
Yeah.
But that's what I think of that. But that's where we're left for episode 1 of My Villain Academia and season 5, episode 20 of My Hero Academia. Are we excited for the next episode?
Can't wait.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.